Hey guys, welcome back to Run, Stretch, Succeed, the channel what covers ultra running. Today's video is helping you to decide whether ultra running is for you. But before we get into the video, I am very close to the 1,000th subscriber point. So if we're on 999 and that's you watching, please hit that subscribe button and get me to that 1,000 subscriber point. So let's get straight in the video. What is ultramarathon? Ultramarathon is anything past 26 miles, point 2. Who is ultramarathon running for? Ultramarathon running is more for people who don't want to get a PB, who just want to take part, have a good day, have an adventure, meet friends, and just take a little adventure on that day, 2 days. It depends what running event you are doing. And I would also say ultramarathon running is for people who are strong in mind. Whether you're not the strongest runner, if you're strong up here, it is possible. It is really challenging, but the challenge is something you might hate at the time. But when you look back on it, you will look and be really proud of yourself. So ultra running comes with a bit of criteria. It isn't recommended to do a 50-mile run without any training. So I'm going to put some of the points, what you might want to think about before trying to commit to this challenge. I'm going to say to do an ultramarathon, you are going to have to dedicate yourself to doing round about 50 miles per week at least. And this is what I'm just gathering from a lot of training plans, what I've seen online, what my friends do, what people have told me they do. And I would say that is the minimum. There is people who don't do 50 miles per week, but I feel like their lifestyles are very strenuous. They may walk a lot that week, meaning they don't have to do 50 miles, but I would highly recommend doing 50 miles plus. So there is a lot of techniques and stuff you have to take in consideration, what make it a lot more easier, a lot easier on your body and less chance of injury. We've got to think about reducing the strain on the body, the impact on the body. So these are some techniques you can use to get your 50 miles plus in a week. So most of your mileage, I would say you want easy miles. I'm going to say you're going to do an 80-20% split. So 80% of it is going to be easy runs, the other 20% is going to be strength training, flexibility, speed work, hill work, and all that kind of jazz. So to get these 50 miles in, there is a couple of techniques I use and other people use. You don't have to use these, but they do decrease the chance of injury, and there's reasons why people use these techniques. So you've got back-to-back run days. So 2 long run days, so 13 miles, 10 miles, whatever you class as a long run. So I'm going to say about 10 miles plus. And you're going to do these so your legs are used to being tired. On the second day, you're going to wake up and your legs are going to feel like they've been running, you've been training. So you are training on tired legs. This is not just so your body gets used to it, this is so your mind gets used to it. Because when you've run 30 miles, you are going to be running on tired legs. Then legs are going to feel so tired that you might not even be able to run. Even if your legs tell your brain that they're tired, if you can get your brain to tell your legs they're not tired, I promise you, you can pull yourself and pull some amazing stuff out your body, because your brain is a lot more powerful than your body. There is some mad stories about what people's bodies can do out there, what sound insane and impossible, but it is possible. So get your brain telling your body that it can do shit. What I do very often, quite a lot of days a week, is a double run day. This is so it fits into my lifestyle, so that I can work in between it. And also, I just think it's a bit easier for me. I don't get as bored, I don't find running as lethargic and demotivating. I do double run days. So I will run in the morning, I will run in the afternoon. 2 runs. That's one big long run together. So this decreases the chance of injury. Also, you tend to be able to get more mileage in, and I tend to not get sore on this technique. So if I do double run days, I feel like I can push harder, faster for an easy run. but also do it again at night and I won't be sore in the morning. As if I do a slower run, what's longer, I tend to be more sore. I think it's about keeping your body moving, and sometimes stopping working out suddenly is worse for your body, and you get sore, you get more DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness, and other stuff like that. So I would highly recommend double run days. You can go for a run in the morning and a run at night, meaning you can stop in bed longer, meaning you can have more time watching TV at the night. It sounds really good to me. I'm not joking, I love this technique. And another thing you want to think about in your training, what I feel like people tend to not do, is not really nice. I don't like doing it. Don't know why I don't like doing it, because I do it all the time at running events and it doesn't bother me. Running at night, in the dark. And this is just basically to educate your brain what it's going to be like running in the dark, getting used to looking at the floor. It can be very upsetting running at the dark, it can be very depressing. So you're just getting your body used to running, carrying on, and not being so negative in an environment what you might not feel so pleasing. To be honest, I love at running events, running in the dark. I don't know what's about it. It's very peaceful. But running, maybe it's because it's on the trails, maybe because it's a running event, if I feel safer. But if I was running around my own town, I'd be scared of someone popping a cap in my ass, to be honest. Like, this world is not a nice place. So something happens when I do a running event and I just feel a lot safer. So you could do this with friends and make it a bit more social. There's Strava Garmin who have apps, so if you fall over, it tells someone you fell over, or it alerts someone something has happened. Also, if you do that, please carry a mugger alarm and make sure you've got lights and you're reflective. I know you get your training and you're really looking forward to run for this ultra marathon. If something happens beforehand, you're not doing that ultramarathon, so make sure you're safe in your training and you don't get injured, because you're not going to get to race day if you're injured or if you fall over. It's just not happening. Safety first. Big thing, what I've only started doing this year really is nutrition and stuff. So I did train nutrition on my runs when I started marathons. But when you do marathons, it's not as serious. If you get shits at a marathon, it's not too bad, because you're likely to be close to the end, like unless it happens at the beginning. But in an ultra, you don't want to be stuck in a forest needing a poo. You just don't. Also, you don't want to have stomachache. You don't want to feel sick. I was sat in a checkpoint once for 2 hours feeling sick. I had loads of time to get out of the checkpoint and I just felt sick. I think I had sunstroke, I think I had something what didn't agree with my body, I felt like I was going to throw up, I was trying to throw up and then I decided not to throw up, and it just knocked me west. It's always going to be the same kind of bland rubbish, so like crisp, potatoes, Coca-Cola, but also, you can get nutrition what works with your body to make you more energized, feel better, give you a bit of energy, gives you that little short boost in the race. So I'm going to get some to show you, because I didn't think about this. One of the first things I'm going to recommend, because I actually love this product, I got sent this product this year because I met him at Lady Barrow, was in one of the videos for the social media, and they sent me some products. So thank you to Caffeine Bullet for them. But I started using these. I've never really been a caffeine person because I don't like drinking coffee when I'm doing ultras. It gives me dry mouth, it makes me feel dehydrated. So I just don't like it. But I tried these and I thought I'll give them a go because I've been sent them for free. And you know what? I love them. I actually love them so much. So these are the Caffeine Bullets. I have got a discount code for these. I'm not just saying I like the products because I've got a discount code. I actually like the product. And the big turning factor of this was when I was doing the Beacon Bash, and I was a bit hungry at the end of the race, had no energy because I didn't eat enough, I didn't take enough food with me, and for the last 5 miles, I took these, be it you chew on them near zob through under your tongue, it's got a posh word, whatever. So you chew on them, the caffeine absorbs under your tongue, and I was back open, I was in the game, I was locked on, and I got to the end, and honestly, I was hungry, but once I had that caffeine, I think the caffeine stopped my hunger craving, like my hunger, because obviously it's a stimulant. So I would highly recommend them, and they do actually give you loads of energy. I would say, if you're going to take caffeine products though, make sure you're taking them towards the end of the race, or a night section, just because you don't want to go on a caffeine high and then have a caffeine bunk. With stuff like Tailwind. Tailwind is an electrolyte drink, what comes in flavours, what has got 200 calories in per serving, I think. And it just gives you calories, but also electrolytes. The only issue I've ever had with these is, I feel like when I do like 100 milers, they make me need to wait, because I'm taking that much water on to get the electrolytes. I feel like they make me weigh loads towards the end. What I'm going to do in my next couple of running events is I'm going to take salt tablets as well, so that I don't have to feel like I need to drink water to take on electrolytes. But really good product, and you can get them offline. I'll link everything below, and if there's discount codes, they're there. And then you can get gels. Everyone knows about gels. You use them in marathons. I do like the Kendall Mink Co range, but I feel like everyone knows about gels anyway. I don't know why I got that one out. So also, when you're training with your nutrition, also practice it. Make sure you are taking on enough calories, because last year I feel like I was training really hard. I was doing 100-mile weeks, and I feel like I weren't eating enough. I kind of put eating on the back burner, and it didn't actually make me lose that much weight. The issue was I was constantly missing training runs, I had no energy, and I was constantly hungry, and I just kept bunking on training runs. They were taking a lot longer, they was a lot more unenjoyable, and training should be enjoyable. I know it's meant to be a challenge, but we want this challenge to be as enjoyable as possible. But what about actually on race day? So most running events have mandatory kit, so it'd be like head torch, first aid kit, whistle, maps. Map reading is involved. I'm not the best map reader ever, but I would highly recommend studying your route beforehand. To do this, you can use Google. A lot of companies like GB Ultra do recce days, where you go up, do part of the course beforehand, use it as a training run, meet people who are going to be at the event, make friends. Like, if you can make friends what are doing the same event as you, it's going to be really beneficial. So, sorry, I went on a bit of a tangent there, but we're on about what happens on race day. So race day, you'll be set off, and stuff what you want to be thinking about is how you are going to do this event. So I'm going to say most people don't run the full distance. Even in shorter ultras, a lot of people do walk. Unless you're elite or really experienced in ultra running, you're not going to run it all. You probably don't want to run it all, because you want a little adventure, you want to enjoy the day, you want to make friends. So a lot of people at these events walk, they will walk a section. My friend Jackie does 4 minutes running, 1 minute walking. It really breaks stuff up. You can take on food when you're doing the 1 minute walk, you can sort yourself out. And to be honest, I was doing that with her last weekend, and it just keeps your legs fresh. And it stops you going too quick and burning out. Some people walk up the hills. I personally walk after checkpoints and try to eat my food and walk. I just think in my head it makes sense to try to use my eating time as a rest break. And I try to not stop in checkpoints too much. I feel like you can spend a couple of minutes in a checkpoint, but then extra 4 minutes, 5 minutes, do add up after you do 5 checkpoints. That can make a lot of difference when you're trying to meet off cut-off times. I think what I like to do is to make friends with people on my ultras, people who are running the same pace as me, and also people who are slower than me. Not saying run by someone, check if they're okay, and then to slow my pace down because I don't want to go too fast. So I feel like if I'm talking to someone, making friends, enjoying myself, seeing how they're doing, how they're feeling today, what their plan is for the event, maybe try to learn a bit of information off them, of stuff I might want to do later. But that really helps me just to slow down and preserve energy for the night section or even for later on in the event. Some running events I've done, it's been every 20 miles, some it's every 50 miles. It will have all this information in the brief. You've got to think what you're packing. Overpack. Like, you do get away sometimes, or a bag size, but you've got to think what you might want. You might want 3 pairs of shoes, you might want 2, you might want to change your clothes twice, you might want to change your socks. Someone I know changed the socks every 20 miles at Lakeland 100 because it's so wet and rainy. You might want to take stuff for when you finish to put on because your temperature might drop. You might want a teddy what means something to you. But when you're doing 50 miles or 100 miles, if you want it, have it on you. Have it on you because you might as well. Overpack, don't underpack. Be clever about your packing. Also, make sure your bag is ordered. So I have in my front pocket stuff what I want to reach in for. I will separate my tailwind and my nutrition for that section into little bags so I can just pull them out. I will have clothes and blankets and stuff at the bottom of the bag because I probably won't use it. It's on top, it's grabbable. I'm not going to struggle to find it. I take a mental note. Also, a thing I do at running events is find a bag what's recognisable and I'll show you my bag. Don't steal it if you see it at a race. My bag has a baby Yoda on and stuff from many other running events but I don't know what it was. Actually, I think that leads to Liverpool. I think I've been 27 twice and I've done it twice. Another thing I do, what I've not put on my notes, is I print off the checkpoints on a little piece of paper, and that's just so I know where the checkpoints are quite easy. When you're running so long, you get a bit delusional and it just doesn't make sense in your head. And I break up my runs by thinking. So the last thing I'm going to talk about is you have to be a person who can try to stay positive. These running events are not always the most fun. You're not always in a positive state. When you're running so far in the dark and you're on your own for like 2 hours, you can get a bit weird, feel a bit sad, start thinking weird things what won't happen and hallucinate frankly. So you've got to stay positive. So there is techniques I do use to stay positive. So obviously like listening to music, distract yourself, singing, some people sing to themselves. I have full-blown conversations and arguments with myself. I am my worst enemy sometimes because I can talk to myself for days. So sometimes I create a conversation with myself just to distract myself from the run. Also, this is another reason I've got this channel. I like to video stuff because if I'm talking to you guys, that's not me on my own. I've got someone with me. I love making these videos for you guys. Also, when I'm running, I'm looking for good shots, what would be interested in the video, thinking about what you would like to hear about the running event itself. So I feel like that's a massive distraction for me. Also, stuff I do to cope, I do it checkpoint by checkpoint, mostly. When I did Leeds to Liverpool, the checkpoints were every 20 miles. So at Leeds to Liverpool, the checkpoints were 20 miles between each other. So that is quite a distance. So I'm more okay with that now than I was then. But I would do 10 miles and then I would have a little walk. and then do another 10-mile run to get to a checkpoint, just because I didn't want to burn myself out. Well, if I don't break stuff down, I don't feel like I'm getting anywhere. As if I can be like, right, we're at checkpoint 6 and we have to get to checkpoint 7 and it's 10 miles. Right, I can do that, because by the time I start like losing it in my head, I'm 4 miles from that checkpoint, so just keep going. Just keep going to that checkpoint and get to that checkpoint. I try not to see it as a full-blown, from start to last, it's just little bits, and you try to get to the little bits. I try to find out who's at the checkpoint. If I'm meeting someone, I'll be like, I'm meeting such a person at this point, and that's where I'm trying to get to. I'm not thinking about the end. Or like just little things like on the way, like statues, buildings, I don't know. I just try to break it down as much as possible. I feel like it really helps knowing where you're running, knowing the route, as I feel like sometimes when you're doing these longer events, it gets very repetitive. If you're running through fields, it's like field after field. So knowing where you are really does help me. And I feel like that's all I've got for you guys. Like, I feel like this has been a bit more of a rant than a video, but I just want to make this video because I know a lot of people on this channel are thinking about doing ultras but haven't done them yet. Are you thinking about getting back into running but more doing ultras rather than short distance? So I just wanted to tell you stuff I've learned over the years about running. I just want to tell you what I feel like's worked for me over the years, give you a bit of advice about getting into the sport. So yeah, it's been a bit of a rant, it's just been a bit random, I guess, but I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it helps you. If you do ultra marathons or you've heard a tip what I haven't said, please put it in the comments, because I did write like notes, but to be honest, I was thinking of more stuff when I was doing it, what I didn't write down, and also I feel like I've been off on tangents quite a lot. So, if you want to see me go on my mad runs this month, but I don't even know what I'm running, hit that subscribe, come join me on my ultra running journey. We'll have a ball, we'll have a laugh, and I look forward to seeing you in the comments. I'm just going to go because I think my brain hurts. I've done a lot of running today. I've just done weights and I've taught 2 lessons. So I hope you subscribe, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and I will see you next time.